Can I do the countdown?
Huh? Oh, sure. Knock yourself out.
That's right, welcome back to a brand new episode of Jetpack Retro. Now, like I said in my last video, we were going to do something more bigger for our next video, so that's what we're doing today. Today, we are going to be doing another new retrospective series. I've decided to push back the finale of my last retrospective, Futurama, for another date, while we start a new one instead. So, you know me, here we do top 7 videos. Why top 7? Figure it out yourself. So, without further ado, today we are going to be doing top 7 Kenny vs. Spenny episodes, but with a twist. The time I've been gone and watching this show so much like I usually do, I was looking through it and decided the show wasn't on equal terms, so to say. Like, the show each season has such a different feel and a different flow that you can't really just do a straightforward top 7 of every episode ever. So I decided, with how different the show is, instead we're going to do season by season. That's right, we're going to do a top 7 best episodes for each season of the show. So let's start with part 1 of this top 7. Top 7 best episodes of season 1 of Kenny vs. Spenny, or as I call it, the chill years.
Humiliation for the loser.
Do you know what you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
Yeah, kind of a weird one to start with, isn't it? Look, even when I was growing up and watching this show, this was actually on our worst list. I'm not kidding. Me and many of my friends did not like this one. This is the episode that you rarely ever put on and you rarely ever watch. But I don't know. As the years went on, I started to love this episode. I don't know what there is about it, but this episode is just, for some reason, as the years went on, it became so chill to watch. I now like to put it on from time to time whenever I watch season 1 because it just has this calm atmosphere to it and just this chillness. Yes, I'm well aware it's just very short and it's just basically behind the scenes until the episode starts, and it ended up being for nothing.
Great.
Yes, I won! Daisy didn't even move. She ate the feed. I won! It was a 30-second competition.
But still, it's just such a chill episode. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just that, I don't know, it's just so fun. Like, put it on years later and just sit back and relax to it, and you can see what I mean. So, yes, Who Can Sit on a Cow Longer is my number 7 spot, just because it's just so chill that I just love putting it on from time to time, rarely though. That's why it's at number 7 though. It's not one I put on the most, but it's one I put on enough.
Baton. You sell those conductor batons?
Batons, yes.
Let me see. You idiots! Yeah, that'll be perfect. I'll take a couple of those.
This one is another episode that I don't know why, over the years, started to get attached to. It wasn't one I watched that much growing up, but then over the years of just spending a lot of time with the first season and watching it a lot over, I don't know why this episode really caught my eye. I just love the chill nature of them just coming up with a song and relaxing to it. I love how Kenny screws over Spenny at the end of the episode. And oh my god, who can forget the super hilarious cringy ending where Spenny, for some reason, I don't know why he did this, for some reason, still hops on the stage and just sings through the song himself while narrating how the song's supposed to sound. I mean, it is pure, genuine cringe.
Then we go into the bridge completely different. It goes down and out, down, down, down and out. And I go, I just want you.
But yeah, I don't know. Just like with the cow episode, it's just there's something to it. It has a chill atmosphere. but with some really funny, just cringe comedy from Spenny, as usual, sprinkled in there.
For a living, and I have a lot of respect for them, but I never, ever, ever, ever want to do this again as long as I live. Everything I do has a theory to it, and then when I try to work out the theory, it's like communism.
Oh yeah, this one. Who's a better fashion designer? The thing about this episode is it has such a creative feel to it, if that makes any sense. I've always loved episodes of shows where it's about, creating something, or like any episode about a show where it's about like a product being made that they're selling, or a film being made, or something to do with just creating something. I go nuts for it. And out of all the episodes of season 1, I have watched this one a lot. Like, I mean a lot. I've seen this one. Because I don't know why, just Spenny falling on his own hands and feet like always, just messing up on the sewing machine and just trying to come up with an overly political design that ends up just being boring in the end. Or, as some would say, even the people that walked out on him, gay.
I'm here for the big message. I don't care if it's gay or whatever people look at it. The message is what's important.
No, man, there is hard feelings.
I don't know, it's just, I always find that clip funny, where even the one guy who is there to support him out of the models still, technically in a way, is shitting on him. Because what he says there is not at all what Spenny, meant for it. But regardless, that was fun. Seeing Kenny just grab whatever cheap stuff he can on the side and just stitch it together, these crazy cool designs on the side, was also fun to see. And I don't know, it's just a very creative episode. I love the creativity. I love Spenny falling on himself trying to do a very political flag thing. And I love Kenny just going nuts with it and just letting himself become absolute chaos. So yeah, for those reasons and a bit more, that's why it is my number 5 pick.
Dad? You're not gonna like it when you don't have a eye! Just leave me alone. I'll pay you more than what did Kenny pay you?
Do I really need to explain this one?
Okay, there's the stick. There's the stick.
Don't hit me. I'm blind, Spencer.
You just hit me.
I'm blind.
I mean, really, I'm waiting. Do I have to explain why this one is number 4? Now, I'll be honest. This episode, well, it's not number 1, but number 4 feels perfect for it because it is a great, wacky episode. They would do much more of these later with the later seasons, but I do agree with what Kenny said in his last commentary episode about how, well, not the last one, his episode about this one, about how this episode was when they finally found that niche of crazy. When they finally found that niche of screwing with Spenny, of going nuts, and I agree. This is where that started, and it is great for those reasons. Yeah, very simple outcome and very simple finish that was predictable, but it was hilarious the whole way through to that point. And that's why it's my number 4 pick.
Squidgy. 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 Squidgy.
Oh yeah. This one's number 3 and close to the top because it is just fun. Seeing Kenny and Spenny run around to all these places, well, Spenny mostly, running around trying to scrape whatever money he can. Kenny thinking he's being smart and doing a really big brain play in order to just make money off what they already have of the show. Just to see it crumble on him on the end, it is just, oh. What makes this episode number 3 and so close to the top is the fact that, I don't know, just the idea of them coming up with whatever they can left and right, trying to make whatever cash they can to outdo each other, just for that funny outcome in the end. I mean, I'm sorry, but this episode is fun. I already said before, I love episodes like this where it's them, where it's a character in a show trying to make a profit or trying to rush for some sort of idea they're trying to push or something. And this episode is that to a T.
People are stealing my fucking buckets. A rink. I'm keeping this one.
If anybody out there, well, probably rare, but if anybody out there who stole one of those buckets still has it, please leave me a comment. I would love to see what's happened to it since. And I would love to see its condition after all those years. Like, that is like a piece of film history right there.
So do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't understand.
Cheating. Do you know what that cheating?
Yeah.
You know cheat? So, you know what cheating means? Cheating? Cheating.
I don't understand.
You don't understand? I want to thank you for your time.
Oh, yeah, yes, here we are. The episode that I bet hands down any other fans of the show watch whenever they're eating something or they're hungry. I mean, God, how can you not? This entire episode is just straightforward, no messed up stuff, no bullshit, no nothing, just let's talk about and enjoy cooking. This episode is the one episode I always recommend to people who want to show a friend of theirs or somebody they know came from Spenny, but don't want them to get turned off by all the more edgy stuff in the show. I always recommend this one, because this episode is straightforward, them just, cooking, talking about food. I mean, majority of the episode is Kenny just seeing some of the greatest restaurants of Toronto and just enjoying it and joking about the fact that he's allowed to. I mean, this episode's great, it's classic. It has Spenny in the most dumbass way try to cheat, even though, from what I saw, that's not cheating. I don't agree he cheated there. In order to cheat, it would be if he rigged something to win or somebody did it for him. And in the episode, nobody did it for him. All he did was ask a guy who knew what he was doing to teach a guy who didn't know jack shit what he was doing to cook the recipe. I don't know about you, but that doesn't usually work. I mean, regardless if you're a great chef or not, if a great chef tried to grab somebody who never cooked a day in their life and tried to teach them how to do it, you're not going to get favorable results regardless. So, yeah, I love the ending. Don't think he cheated. Pretty fun ending, though. And it's just a really fun episode to relax to with friends who maybe want to show the show to. Watch it, enjoy it, take a look at all the amazing food he eats throughout it, and just enjoy it. That is why it is number 2 on this list. It would have been number 1, but there was one episode that had a bit more qualities mixed in with this one's that make me watch it the most out of the entire season. But before we hit that, here's a few honorable mentions. Each and every one of those mentions could have been on this list. I'm not even kidding. It was hard to do this one. Also due to the fact that season 1 is the biggest and longest season out of the entire show. So it made it hard. Anyways, now it is time for number 1.
There are decent people in this world. That's a good man. Hey! Hey! Let go! Let go! You're salty, man! Ow!
You're not allowed in the back. Disqualification.
All right, let me explain. Now, there is an extra detail of some episodes. When they do this idea, I go nuts for it. Whenever a show does an episode about survival, I go nuts. And this episode, grabbing the idea of that with another thing I love, simplicity. I love when an episode is simple. Do an episode of, it's a guy stuck in his house for the day. It's a guy having to just do a simple task in his house, but so hard to do. When you grab something so simple, I also love it. I love simplicity, and I love survival. When you mix the two together, oh boy. Just the idea of having them go, yeah, we're going to survive in a very small van, and then have Kenny go head over heels, going far with it, just for it to have a sad outcome for him, is amazing. I love the episode. I love the scene when Spenny's trying his hardest to find some sort of food to eat and Kenny just screws him every step of the way. I love the mind play that Kenny did here and all the things he rigged and he set up and all the stuff he did to Spenny to wear him down, which did work, but, when it comes to Kenny, from every episode I've seen, he usually always loses by himself. He always either goes too far with an idea and it crashes and burns, or he does an idea without thinking it through and ends up falling on him. That's what happened with Money, and that's what happened with this one. But I won't lie, though, seeing his hilarious, just dead reaction when he lost was literally perfect.
Look at his face.
Wait a second. Tell me what your strategy was. I'm a little confused.
Get you in the back seat. I knew you'd take the key and drive really fast.
Oh my god, he looked literally dead inside on that shot. Like, he looked like life just ended. Now, yes, I have heard some complaints that this episode isn't the best because there's no humiliation. It ends on a draw, nothing happening. But even without that, I like it. I'm not even kidding. I loved it the whole way through. I loved all the twists and turns, and it was a really fun, small survival episode for me. So that is why it is my number one pick for the best episode of Season 1 of Kenny vs. Spenny. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and part 2 of this will be coming soon, where we're going to take a look at Season 2. Alright, see you guys later, and I have a new show idea a new segment on this channel I'm going to be starting maybe next or maybe after my next video. So stay tuned for that, and, depending on how fast I can put it together, you will see it soon. See you guys, hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for that new segment I hope I can pull off for you guys real soon.